Why do people leave Costa Rica? They got good intentions. They come down here. They're here for a year, here for 2 years, here for 6 months, here for 5 years. Why do they go back? Why do they go back to Canada, the United States? We're going to get into it in a minute. Guys, I'm Michael Allen from TravelCostaRicaNow.com. Guys, we're at the relocation retreat. It's not about this video is not about the relocation retreat. But if Costa Rica is on your radar, but you're not quite sure if Costa Rica is right for you or not, 6-7 day event, we don't care if you move here. But we want to provide you great information so you can make a good decision whether Costa Rica is right for you or it's, honey, we're going to Belize. All that information is in a link in the description. I'd love to see you there. We got one coming soon. Sign up. Guess what, Pablo? I'm sorry. Guys, YouTube's hard. Please subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to see videos as we put them up, hit the notification bell. Guys, you know Pablo. You know what? I'm sorry. Let's do it again. You know Pablo, right? He's the import-export guy. He brings all your household goods, your motorcycles, your cars, all this stuff down to Costa Rica when you decide to move here. And guess what? When you move back, he'll ship it back for you. So anyway, but we're not talking about that. Anyway, but if you want to get a hold of Pablo, just go in, also in the link in the description. I'll get you, if you want to, hey, I want to talk to Pablo. I want to talk to Pablo about this. I'll get you to him within minutes, and you can talk to him, all right? Although he's pretty busy these days, Pop. He's been pretty busy. I don't know if you're gonna pick up the phone on him, but you'll get with him, right?
Anyway, thank you. Well, we ask people to book a consultation. We actually have waiting time 2-3 days when people want to talk and learn more about customs, whatever. What I do, whatever. We want to talk about why people leave Costa Rica, right? Let's go into topic. But anyway, if you need to talk to us, we book a consultation. We give you a 30-minute free consultation. But getting into topic, and I think this is very important.
Pablo's running he's taken over. He's just taken over the whole video. No, you're right. Okay, so we are going to talk about why people leave because it's important, and it is important, right? Because people come down here with good intentions, Pablo. They think they're going to live their life here. You know, we picked Costa Rica. I vacationed there 4 times.
They bought a car. I mean, they bought a house. Yes. They do immigration. They ship a $15,000 shipment.
Right.
So it's not like they're planning to leave.
But why do they? Let's talk about it. Let's just go back and forth. You say something, I'll say something, because there's a bunch of reasons.
There's a lot of reasons, but you know what? I love to hear your comments.
Yeah.
Like if you know, what would you think people leave? And we have a few pointers here. But I love to hear you guys' reasons why. Why do you think people come and they leave? Why? I'd love to see the comments on the video. And I'm gonna come up on a perspective here. My perspective is like I'm the guy people call when they want to move, but I'm also the guy people call when things do not work out.
Right.
So I get to do a consultation, help you with the process. This is what it's gonna take, and people just, okay, Paolo, I'll be here 6 months. I'll be here 1 year, and it happens that I need you to ship back my stuff. Something happens, so I feel I have experience at least.
You hear the reason.
I feel I'm like the psychologist. Yep. I'm the counselor because we connect with people, and I actually make friends with a lot of the people. A lot of my friends. I mean, we help them when they move here. I connect them with them. We go dinner with their families. We spend all this time together. And after that, I hear the sad news. A lot of them even crying because they have to leave. Things do not work out.
Okay, I'm going to start with one reason. Some people can't, they try, but they miss their family. They just miss their family. Maybe their grandkids. They don't see them as much as they want to. They're not connected as much as they would like. And they thought they could do it, but they can't. And they just moved back because of like family matters. That's one reason.
So homesickness is kind of like,
similar, right?
So your family, you wanna feel back. I think one of the reasons is it's how everything started. You moved to Costa Rica thinking, this is gonna be the solution, and when you land here, it happens that you're just bringing with you whatever issue you already have.
Yeah, you can't run from your issues, dude. If you're a drunk in the United States, you're going to be a drunk here. You know what I mean?
And I see here this. Moving to Costa Rica now, I'm gonna start doing exercise. I'm gonna quit drinking. I'm gonna do it better. We'll be we will be better husband, better wife, whatever. 6 months happens, 7 months
No,
happens.
I have a theory on that. I'm going to say it at the very end of my theory of why people leave that aren't the reasons we're talking about. So I think family, I think you're talking about homesickness. I think health goes in there too. Some people go, you know what? I have a heart problem, or I need surgery. I have this problem. I'm going to go back and just deal with it wherever I'm from, Canada, the States, or whatever. Maybe they don't have their insurance is still there. Whatever the reason is, health also takes people back to where they're from.
And that takes me kind of like the next concept this is sometimes a cycle. You move to retire on your 60s if you're retirement. If you're before retirement, maybe in your 40, 45, but in your 60s, then you are 65, then you're 70, then things are starting to not working properly.
What are you trying to say, Jairo? I'm sorry. Pablo, he knows I'm 64. I think he's talking directly to me.
So you started to be 64, right? You're starting to get old.
See, I called you Jairo. That just tells you how much my brain.
And then this cycle, then you have to make decisions. Is it health in Costa Rica appropriate for you? If you're coming from a country like Canada or some countries in Europe where they have a good or a stronger social security, then you might just have to leave. And I had customers move to Costa Rica one day, and I have this friend, it's a friend of mine now. He had cancer. He purchased a nice property in Potrero, Guanacaste, built a nice property with a little casita as an Airbnb. 7 months later, he called me, Mike, Belgium. He called me, Pablo, I need to move back. Can you help me ship everything? Well, what happened? Everything was perfect. I just had this cancer that went to the doctor.
Wait a minute, wait. A fellow YouTuber is in our picture. Guys, you know Sarah, you know Jairo, right? We're all at the relocation retreat. These are all presenters at the relocation retreat. Was this planned, or do you guys just pop in?
Well, we were doing our own thing over there, and then.
Well, you interrupted Pablo. He was on a serious informational rant, and you guys messed him up. He probably doesn't remember.
I was getting emotional.
Guys, if you don't know, real quick. If you don't know, Sarah's a fellow YouTuber. We do the relocation retreat together.
Yes, we do.
And she's a fellow YouTuber. She's got great information. So you probably already know her. Jairo is our rental car guy. So you don't have to worry about scams, stress. You rent a car from Jairo, you're getting what you booked. Transparent, great service, new cars, all of it. So none of that, because I don't know if you guys know this, but in Costa Rica, there is a problem with the rental cars. There is scammy things going on there. Not with him.
I just wanted to stop by because you guys look so beautiful and gorgeous. I just needed to let you know.
You know what? We were commenting early on Pablo's shirt.
It's nice.
It's very nice.
La guayabera.
Look at him.
Looking really
suave.
Is it a senior thing?
No, it's very suave.
Like a
no, I feel like you're going to do a little cumbia thing or something.
Hey, guys, for those of you that are watching, hey, this is the people you want to deal with when you come to Costa Rica. So make sure you follow the link that is here with all the information, and you'll be in great hands.
I swear this wasn't planned, guys. This is very impromptu. We didn't know they were gonna break in at the 7-minute mark.
Yeah, keep doing what you guys are doing. Lucky 7. Bye bye.
All right.
See you guys. Enjoy.
All right. I'm sorry, Pablo. They interrupted, man. They interrupted. Jesus.
Bye.
So
Ciao.
anyway, I was trying to say, a friend of mine, Mike, gentleman that I moved from, he's Belgium, moved from Belgium. I moved him from Europe to Potrero, built a nice house, brought his family with him. Smart guy, super people's person. We became friends 7-8 months after, he moved here. His health started failing, and then going private with health, unless you have a good insurance
or
health
a boatload of money,
or a lot of money, Costa Rica will not be for you. And in his country, and a lot of the countries in Europe and also in Canada, Social Security will cover for a lot of this treatment.
So he had to go back.
He has to go back.
He had to go back.
And we still shout, it's like, hey, I'm feeling better. Maybe in a few years I'll do it again. Good for him. He came right in through COVID when everything was like everybody was like noticing moving and living abroad was a big deal. You can do that. So he purchased this land, built this. He sold it for like $120,000 profit because prices on property.
Oh, that was good.
That was good.
That doesn't normally work out like that, by the way.
Yeah.
It doesn't normally work out.
He was lucky. He was lucky. But anyway, go back to the point. Health is one of the reasons. And also, as you're aging, this cycle of your health, people start, feeling bad. Now, my knees hurt. I'm 42 years old. My knees hurt now. Things like that. So just think about it as one of the reasons.
Right. I think another big one, I think everything is on the shoulders of culture. If you cannot deal with the culture here, the slower pace. So most people are coming from, let's say, Canada, Europe, the United States. They're going on a hamster wheel at 100 miles an hour. When you hit the ground in Costa Rica, we're on cruise control here at 35 miles an hour. I don't care what you want done, you will have to slow down here. And a lot of people can't take it. So just culturally, not that it's bad that you can't deal with it, but a lot of people can't deal with the cultural differences of wherever they're coming from. And I think they may not say that though. Those are the people that kind of say, oh, Costa Rica's expensive, or they have some.
The complainers.
Yeah, they kind of complain. They don't want to say that they couldn't deal with.
I think that's a thing.
The simple life of Costa Rica. It was too slow, too much time on their hands, as the song goes. I think I really believe that, and my theory is kind of the same, but I think the cultural aspect can be too much of a change. I don't think they can deal because they think they can come here and change it. Mm-hmm. You can't stop Pura Vida. It's encompassing here. It's the simple life is in the walls, everywhere you go, every person you talk to, and you think, well, no, I'm gonna.
Yeah, and people fall in love in Costa Rica when they're traveling. They fall in love when every day in the afternoon you're taking margaritas on the beach, and that's where you fall in love. So it's not the real Costa Rica. If you're traveling, enjoying this country for a week or 2 weeks or whatever, that's not Costa Rica living.
Yes, what you're saying is no. This is a good point, Pablo, because living here is not traveling here. Yeah. It's not even close. Mm-hmm. You come here on vacation, and what happens is this is a beautiful country. You're going to see beautiful things and meet beautiful people, and you're going to be like the romance of it. You're going to be drinking some wine, looking at the volcano. You go, honey, man, we could live here.
Yeah, of course.
We could live here. Well, it's romantic. It's nice. But your vacation isn't the same as living here. It's a totally different thing. And I think people maybe get confused. I've seen that. Well, I've been here 18 years, so I've seen that kind of thing where they base their living here on their vacation.
Yeah, which is not.
It does not work.
This is not. And this is, one of the reasons, going into this relocation retreat is a good idea. Because yes, you're coming, you are having vacations because they do activities, the zip lines, all of that, right? The hot springs. But we spend mornings talking about real Costa Rica. We spend mornings talking about the complexities of the legal immigration, the complexities of shipping, all of these headaches. We spend time throwing you to reality. This is what's going to be if you move to Costa Rica. Anyway, going back, real Costa Rica starts when traveling ends, and real Costa Rica is now you have to deal with bureaucracy. Now you have to deal with a different culture, a different lifestyle. And on top of that, a lot of the people that move from Canada, United States, or other countries, they're leaving something because an issue of sometimes it's attitude. If you come with a bad, negative attitude to another country, then
you're in trouble.
That creates negativity. That makes it even worse. So you're not going to last 3 months, man.
Well, it's funny. Yeah, not funny, but I think to follow that, the romance people think of like living here or traveling here is the same as living here. I think the other problem is also too, they get here and they don't understand this. So they moved. You ship their stuff down here, Pablo. But what happens is I think they're in this honeymoon period. And they're like, oh, this is perfect. I love this. But they're still in vacation thinking, honeymoon period, which can last 6 months, can last 2 years. Now they've made, we got to buy 2 cars. We got to buy a house. We got to do our residency. We got to do all these things. They're in their honeymoon period. We're going to stay here. We're going to live here. Now, when all that's done, and they literally are living here, everyday life, they've done all this stuff. I don't know, honey. I don't think Costa Rica is really for us.
Yeah.
And now they bought land, they bought their house, they've done this, they've done that, and now that's when they go, "Hey, Pablo."
Yep.
A
lot of the advice. I spend a lot of people, a lot of time giving advice. And we do shipping, right? But a lot of the advice sometimes I give is like, don't ship your car. Just wait. If you ship a car or if you buy a car, make sure it's a vehicle that has got a lot of resale. So it's easier for you to sell and exit if you want.
Right, yeah.
I give this tips.
That's true.
Because you don't want anything to attach you. If you have to leave for whatever reason, health or the country is not for you, you could just sell the car. Don't buy a property yet. Spend 2 years. Get to know the country. Get to know if this is going to be for you. That helps you. That helps you a lot.
The problem is everyone thinks they're okay. No offense, guys. Everyone thinks they're the exception to the rule. I've lived here long enough to know, yes, there are a few people. They've been here. They understand what they're getting into. They can buy a house in their first 6 months. I get it. Most people can't. You shouldn't even be thinking really about your residency. You don't have to. You could slow it down. It's going to be there. You're good. They give 180 days now. You just cross the border, you got a whole year.
Yeah.
You can be here. And so if you cross the border twice, you've got 2 years to figure stuff out. You do not have to come here and, we got to do this, we got to do that. No, you don't. No, you don't. Rent. See, is Costa Rica really right for you? Stay here for a year or two. See if it's really it. And if you do need to leave, you don't have to worry about selling your property, selling your land. I wasted all this money on residency. I did this thing. I got 3 cars.
I just thought about one that I think I've seen this more than once, and it's sad. This one is sad. Moving to Costa Rica or moving abroad, whatever, it could be your dream. Like it could be your dream, but is it your couple? Is it your wife's dream? Is it your family's dream? And I've seen this more than once. Where remember a few years ago, a French couple moved to Costa Rica. Not far from here, by the way, not far from Tronadora. They moved here. She loved it. She was in love. But she's still living here. She loves the country. They hired me because they were getting a divorce and he's moving back because this is not his. I mean, he doesn't care for Costa Rica.
Her dream, not his.
Exactly.
Basically.
So if you're thinking about doing this, and even not just your husband or wife or whatever, it's also your kids. Because you're moving here with your family, you have to make sure your 16-year-old kid or daughter, it's into it as well. Otherwise, you could be splitting your family. And I had this other scenario. I remember this couple from they purchased a property in Naranjo. They both left. And when I asked him, and I make this question every time I talk to a customer, are you leaving? Why are you leaving? I want to understand. And he said, I love this place. I love the property we bought here. This is my dream. But my wife, she didn't like it. It was too slow for her. She needed to do things.
Coincidentally, Pablo, I just uploaded a video about 4 days ago. Lisa, love her. She's from Uvita. I did an initial video with her 3 years ago with her husband. Great video. Got seen like 35,000 times from Canada. Great couple. Well, guess what? The video I did with her when I was in Uvita a couple of weeks ago, he left. Now, and it was more of, I miss my family. This is your dream, not mine. Mm-hmm. She's staying. She's a strong woman doing her thing, which you guys should check out the video, Lisa.
I saw it.
So it does happen. I mean, totally. I think another reason is, I think people want to replicate their life and they don't want to change anything. So they want what they want. Let's say they have some money. They want everything. They want to like take whatever they have in their country, bring it here. They don't change their attitude. They don't change their way of living. They just think they're going to, I don't know, live here cheaper or something. I don't know what it is, but they kind of go, well, I want everything I want. I'm going to keep my North American attitude, my bouginess or whatever. And they come here and they expect everything around them, I don't know, to change or something. I don't know. They want to replicate their life and want it cheaper. And I was like,
it's not realistic. It's just not realistic. I mean, you have to understand there is a different environment and you have to embrace the new culture, embrace the environment. it's just going to be better than just
Well, you
trying
can't
to
do it unless you embrace it, right? I mean, you got to embrace Pura Vida.
I mean, if you live in a little bubble and you have enough money to make yourself live as a king with everything under your way, maybe. But that's not reality for most people. That's
I don't make
maybe the
videos.
1%.
I've said this a million times. I'm going to say it again. I do not make videos for people with big time money, because money changes all the answers. You can do whatever the hell you want if you have that much money. You can build you can do. We're never talking to those people. We're talking to people like me and you, who, we might have, even if we have a little money, I don't know. I just don't talk.
I would say the only people that can just potentially just make their own little bubble here will have to have enough money to just change everyone and make everybody service them. But that's not a realistic life.
I actually want to ask you, okay, here's my theory. I want you to comment on it. My theory is this, and it's not out there because I don't think people will admit to it. I think people come down here, a lot of people come down here and they go, okay, I've spent my life, working or whatever, family, and they go, I want to write my novel. I'm going to paint my pictures. I'm going to start my garden. I'm going to do this thing that so 10 years ago, if I had enough time, I'd be writing, I'd be painting. That's my passion. They get down here, and for whatever reason, they buy the paints, man. They buy the paints, they buy the canvases, and all of a sudden,
they buy the equipment, the gym equipment.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So, but all of a sudden, they're kind of, well, I know I have a glass of wine at 5, but I'm just going to have it at 12 because it's slow. I love the volcano. I'm looking at the volcano, and you mean well, but you never do what you said you're going to do. And I think what happens is when you look in the mirror, yourself. Yeah. You have to look at yourself and go, I'm not doing that thing I said I was going to do.
Yeah.
And you start making excuses, and those are the people that go back and say, Costa Rica is expensive, or Costa Rica is this, or Costa Rica is that, when it really was them not being able to face it. They didn't do what they said they were going to do.
A lot of it is it's human nature. If you are vested into something, you make an investment into moving to Costa Rica, you are preaching out loud, Costa Rica is the best thing that happens to my life, right? But if things do not work out for whatever reason, it could be because you don't follow with your own words, with what you said. That's one. It could be because I don't know, my family could not adjust it. It could be because of health. If things do not work out, when you live back, you have to find a strong enough excuse and say, Costa Rica is the worst.
Yeah. Right.
Sometimes it's just like that. But it doesn't mean Costa Rica is the greatest place. We all love Costa Rica. But I mean, so there's
not for everybody, right?
There's some other places that are nice. But it does not mean neither, if you're not making it, that Costa Rica is a bad place.
Yeah, and you actually bring up another point that we didn't say. A lot of people do leave here because whatever they thought, like they're starting a little business, they're starting a thing, they don't have a bunch of money, they start a business.
That's a good one.
It didn't work. And I totally get that. You came down here with the best intentions. I'm gonna start a coffee shop or whatever. And it just didn't happen. You need to make money. Maybe it's not working for you. And a lot of people have to leave because just the money thing.
That's a huge point.
Yeah.
I think it's a huge point. We're gonna get to it. But people, when they move abroad, they are doing 4 or 5 things that are huge, complex things to do. They're doing immigration, a year, paperwork. They're buying a house. You know how stressful that is. You're making a $200,000-$300,000 investment, huge task. They're doing a move. They're hiring me $10,000, $20,000, moving project. And then where are my staff? Where's my staff? They're doing 4 big things. And on top of that, people think, oh, I should be doing a business. I'm going to open a restaurant. One of the highest rates of failures, restaurants, right? Or so on top of that, they go like, I'm now doing a business. So people is overwhelmed already. And then on top of that, they're doing a business. I think it's crazy. And then don't you, people, they're not honest. And we are, in general, I'm not just in general, I'm not honest enough with myself to understand that in 6 months, because people, they're trying to do these 5 things in 6 months. They end up taking 2 years, but in 6 months, doing all that, don't you think something is going to crash? your family is going to crash. Your wife is going to hate you. Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's one. People try to do too many things. And the money thing, if it's hard for you to open a business in Chicago, trust me, it's harder to open a business in a country where you don't know anything about, you don't know the market, you don't know anything, the culture.
Pablo, don't get me started on trying to get a business bank account, dude.
That's just one.
It is a pain.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have no idea.
You know, but I want to finish this thought with, after all this, there are people that make it. And I'm just thinking examples of people. I moved this couple from Canada to Tamarindo. Peter and Boxana Bonono. Peter, if you're listening, I want you guys to connect with Mike and do an interview with you. These guys moved from Canada to Tamarindo. The first thing they did, very smart, is just a different way of approach. They moved. They actually, Sarah helped them a lot in this process. So they look for coaching and help and assistance to understand what they're doing. But the first thing they thought is they never thought about buying a house. They said, we have to figure out the money part.
Right.
And he was kind of like a restaurant guy. So it's like, okay, I'm buying a restaurant. And then he has a very popular, burger place in Tamarindo, the Surf Shack. And he's doing that for like now almost 2 years. Make it work, rent a little place, make it work. And then they're both also into education, and they just launched a small kindergarten community.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some exceptional cases of people actually doing the business, making it work, but later, 2 years later, they're now launching this other thing, and they haven't even purchased a property, like a house yet. So it's, some people will make it. I'm just saying there are reasons why, and you need to be aware. And if you are aware about these reasons, my hope is that you could make better decisions.
Well, I would say that a couple things you might want to consider. Like, you probably, if you come down here, you should have a plan B or a plan C. So the things that you think you're going to do down here, whether it's starting a business, whether it's painting the picture, those things may not work out. So you should have like, okay, what if I don't do this thing or it doesn't work for me? Is there a plan B, a plan C? Or is it just like, well, that didn't work, I'm going home? I mean, you should probably come down here knowing that you might have to do some adjusting and adapting, because the thing you wanted to do or the thing may not work out exactly the way you want, which is probably going to be true. And you should probably have another plan if you plan on staying here, I think.
I mean, it's good. To me, it's good to understand that not everything you think you know, that's not the entire context. And you will get this context until you get here. So do not put all your money into one
all your
basket.
Eggs in one basket. Yeah.
Do not, people's like, okay, I'm moving to Costa Rica, and you potentially have, $100,000 to do something, and just go like, everything here, buy here on the first 6 months. So do not do that. Just make the steps little by little, and as you go, you'll learn if this is a good fit or not. It's just common sense.
Yeah, I don't think you should rip yourself up too much if you do have to leave, because I remember our story. We came down here almost like willy-nilly, like, oh, let's do it. We did nothing. We made every mistake in the book. We actually got lucky to still be here. We lucked out. Actually, we were this close to living under a freeway. I mean, it was a thing, but we came down here for 3 months. We came down here for this thing. It's not happening. Now what do we do? Because we came down here with $125,000, and that's not going to last very long. So we needed to do something, and we started on the video thing. It just started working out for us, but we were this close to going with our tail between our legs and going, we didn't make it in Costa Rica. Wow. So we were that close.
And it's not, you were lucky.
Yeah, totally lucky.
You figured it out.
Totally lucky.
I remember I go case in case. This guy lost trying to develop a property in Guanacaste, but 8 years ago, built 5 houses overlooking the ocean, never got the water permit.
Jesus, no.
He lost $4 million. So when he called me, I'm moving he was a builder, contractor. He moved all this power tools and construction equipment back to the States. So you made it, but there's so many other people that are not making it just because they're in a rush of making it, just because they're overwhelming, just because they're trying to Just take your time.
If you had to guess, because I don't know if there's the data's out there. If you had to guess, how many people do you think that come here, gringos, leave? I think it's high. I think it's high. I think it's over 50%.
I think so. Yeah.
And let's qualify. So I think people leave at about, if they're going to leave, it's usually between the 2 and the 4.5 year mark, right around that time. I don't think if you make it past 5 years, you're probably good. But it's usually 5 years and earlier that if you're going to leave, it's at that time normally. And that's what I see. I'm not. There's no data to back me up.
I would say there's a group. There's a group that go in and out quicker within 1.5 years.
Yeah. There's that one.
That's a group. And there's another group that stay a little longer, 5 years, sometimes up to 7 years, that have other major things like the health or something happened. My daughter just have a baby. I want to be with my grandchild.
Right.
Something else happened. So the first group, it's about culture. They didn't adjust. They get overwhelmed. The second group is about life-changing events, and they decided to move back.
I'm going to throw this out here. I'm probably people are going to get mad at this. So let's say you've been here 7 years, and you say, "Well, I have grandchildren. I miss them. I want to be around them." I actually think, my personal opinion is you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're kind of using. I'm not saying you don't love your grandkids, and I'm saying you don't want to be around them. That's not my point. My point is, if you're living your best life, you can work your grandkids in, and they can see, hey, grandma's in Costa Rica living her best life. I think there's a lot of teaching. I think it's that person that's struggling with living down here with too much time on their hands, and they just kind of go, well, I want to be around my grandkids. I know people are going to be like, Mike, that's so mean, but I really believe they're using their grandkids for an excuse of not doing what they say they're going to be doing.
It could be.
I know.
Especially for the first group of people that live in within the year and a half, 2 years.
Didn't you know that when you came here? And again, Costa Rica, come on, man. Costa Rica's pretty close to Houston. What is it? The Miami flight is like an hour.
Yeah.
So
a couple hours.
So, I guess, but I don't know. I don't think that's the best of excuse. I think it's an excuse, to be honest with you. All right, man.
Still talking?
Guys, I would love to.
You're still talking?
Dang, God.
Yeah, it's a long one.
He keeps interrupting, man. I know. He keeps talking. Anyway, actually, we're getting ready to wind it up right now.
I'm going to go get lunch orders ready.
All right.
So you guys got putting your lunch orders.
We're done. Pablo, thank you very much. Guys, this is just a thing to think about. Put it in the back of your head if you're thinking about Costa Rica or anywhere, really, because I think these apply pretty much anywhere you go. So we're just trying to shooting it out there so you guys can kind of be aware. Guys, I'm Michael Allen. Things are going to pop up. Thinking about living or traveling anywhere, always do your homework and research. And if it's Costa Rica, well, I got to say Sarah's videos because she was right there. Sarah's a fellow YouTuber, so check out her videos. She's got great information. But I'm the OG here. So you need to check out mine. All right, guys. Thanks. Leave your comments, man. I would love to hear what you think about this.